guys, welcome to TMXing Adventures. My name is Lisa Keegan, and this week it's all about preserving food with our Thermomix, and a lot of the recipes have come from this amazing book, new to the mix shop, called Less Waste, More Food. Now today we're going to do a manual recipe out of this book because not all of them are on our cookie do guided recipes yet, and we're pickling some vegetables. Now I have got my Thermomix busily working away for me already. I've got it on the kettle feature, which is inbuilt to the TM6, and it is bringing this water to a boil quite quickly for me. I've got 1.8 litres of water in there because we're going to blanch our veggies. Now this is actually super important to retain nutrients. Now if I had an excess of carrots, which I actually do at the moment from the veggie patch, I could be putting those carrots in the freezer. However, in that freezing process, you actually lose nutrient content because of the liquids coming out of it as it freezes. And if you've ever got frozen things out of the fridge that you've done yourself, you'll know they drop their liquid out as they defrost pretty quick. Whereas when you blanch them, it cooks and seals in the good nutrients inside, so you don't lose as much. And that's what we're doing today. So we're going to bring this to the boil, and then I've got some carrots ready to go in, all shapes and sizes. A little note, if you're cooking along at home, you will need a jar to store this in, and you need to store it for at least a month to pickle it. Now, I've sterilized mine already, but you could put on top your aroma, and while this is coming to a boil, it is the perfect time to be sterilizing that on top at the same time with the steam. So you put your lid and lay it down, the jar and the lid in there. So this is boiling. Ha! Bingo on that. That doesn't happen very often. That is now to the boil. So what we're going to do now is follow the recipe. So it says to place 1.7 litres of water and boil. Done. Make an ice bath. I've got that. I'll tell you about that in a moment. And now we're going to put the vegetables in, and it says to blanch them between 30 seconds to 2 minutes. Now, carrots being a hard veggie, and I've got some of them being quite large, they're going to take a little bit longer. Now, I've got about 400 grams of carrots here. I'm just carefully plopping in. They're going to take longer, whereas if I had something like broccoli and snow peas, they're only going to take 30 seconds to blanch, right? But our carrots being a bit bigger, a bit fatter, starchier, kind of veggie, they're going to take a little bit longer. So let's put on the timer 2 minutes, 100 degrees. So we'll just get out of this here, push the home key. So this is my TM6 I'm operating on. However, if you've got another type of thermo cooker, or you've got an older version of a Thermomix, you can by all means use that as well to make this recipe. So now it's got 2 minutes, it's going to steam that off. If you were doing potatoes, sweet potato, 2 minutes is how long it's going to take. For your softer things, as I made mention, broccoli, snow peas, beans, they're only going to take 30 seconds or so. Next up, we need to be putting them into a ice bath. So this is where it's going to get a little bit messy. I've got over here a thermoserver. Now, if you don't have your thermoserver, you need to have a demo to get a thermoserver. They keep things hot or cold for a couple of hours, and we're going to use it today for our ice bath. So we're going to take the veggies out, we're going to strain them, and we're going to put them in here. And this stops that cooking process, because otherwise they will continue to cook inside that veggie as the time goes on in the jar. We don't want that. We want the outer shell cooked, but we want the inside to still actually be raw to a certain extent, preserving the goodness of those veggies. So we're going to get something to strain with, and we're going to use our simmering basket. When this timer goes off in a second, we're going to be straining into our simmering basket. Then we're going to place the whole simmering basket into the ice bath. So this is just 1.5 litres, 2 litres of water, ice cubes, ready to go. So that's an ice bath. Got to be honest, never ice bath before. I'm usually the slack one who just shoves this in the freezer, sliced up, you know, when I've got an excess for another day. But for you guys, I'll do this. And you know what? Maybe it's something I'll do more regularly now because of this. Now, I've also done this before with things like beetroot, slightly different recipe. It's my mum's recipe. One day I'll share it with you guys. It's beautiful, a bit different, but you cook off your beetroots first. So you end up with the equivalent of canned beetroots. So if you like canned beetroots, let me know in the comment, and I will, if I've got enough people interested, I'll put together a little flyer that you can print with the recipe, and I'll put a video together for the beetroot recipe as well. So let me know if that is of interest to you. All right, here we go. 6 seconds, nearly done. So, here we go. Take your lid off away from you, the steam will get you otherwise, okay? And it always has that drippy little bit left as well. So, they look like veggies, nothing exciting in there. It looks like steamed veggies for dinner. Into the simmering basket. Doesn't matter that they're still going to be in their boiling liquid. There we go. Just get them all out. Come on out. All right, now into the ice bath. So straight up, let them drain a second. Love to know, have you pickled veggies before? Is this something you've done? If you have, please do comment. I'd love to know who is going to put their hand up and go, yeah, I've done it. Okay, into the ice bath. Probably should have put 2 litres in, looking at how my quantities are going there. However, you know what I'll do? Let's just, because I didn't put my 2 litres in, I'm tipping the contents into the water. Because what I'll do is I'll just drain them again in a minute over here. So there we go, into the ice bath. It says for 30 seconds to halt that process. So while that's sitting over there, and they say to keep that water, these waters, once it's cool, and put them in your veggie patch. Keep them and actually use them on gardens and stuff. So great reusing there. Now we're going to make the pickling liquid. So into the Thermomix, we're going to put 500 grams the other way at least. There we go, 500 grams. And we're starting with the classic of most of the pickling recipes. You'll remember if we did when we did apples on Monday, you remember we used this white wine vinegar. We're using it again, okay? A little different to the pickling I've done in the past where I use white vinegar, but I'm gonna give a try with both over time and I'll tell you my preference. So we're using 250 grams. The rest of my bottle, the bottle's of 500 grams. We're then gonna put in some sweetener. We're going to put in some salt and we're going to put in our pickling herbs as well. I made mention on Monday about how hard it was to actually find all spice whole berries or cloves. I think they're berries. And that I had to buy the packet. So I'm actually going to use that packet today rather than doing, they call for putting in 1 teaspoon of peppercorns, 1 teaspoon of mustard, 1 dried bay leaf and 4 whole spices. I'm going to look at this and go, I'm going to put in about 6 teaspoons, which is actually a tablespoon and a half. So I'm just guesstimating as I do. So I'm going to put in about that much into this. There we go. Now we're going to put in some salt and sugar. So we're putting into it 2 tablespoons of raw sugar. I don't have tablespoons. I don't have tablespoons with me, so again, I'm guesstimating. It's a great thing about cooking with the Thermomix or cooking in general. You can really just guesstimate a lot of things. And you guys know I do it all the time. Next up is some salt, and we are putting in 1 teaspoon of salt, so not a huge amount of salt. By the way, I think it's okay for those carrots to be sitting in the ice bath. You would not want them sitting in the boiling water waiting for you because they're going to keep cooking and we don't want that. So now we're cooking. The rest of the stuff is already there. So it was 250 grams of vinegar, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of black peppercorns, 1 teaspoon of mustard seeds, 1 dry bay leaf, and 4 allspice. They are put in there because that was in that mix. And now it says to cook 10 minutes at 100 degrees, speed 1. All right, so while that's cooking for, let's get rid of this. Come over here, 10 minutes. So that's going to bring this up to the boil, which is what you want. 100 degrees, speed 1. Now off it goes. What you want to do is be putting your beautiful cooked veggies into your jar. So let me just swap these over, grab my jar down. And what I might do is I might return to you. This is quite noisy, so I'm going to return to you in 9.5 minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to jar up the carrots and I'll show you how to finish this recipe then. So I'll see you soon. Okay guys, I'm back, and I'm actually back a little early because I realized I forgot to put in 500 grams of water. So as this is cooking around, I'm just going to bring up my scales and I'm going to put in the 500 grams of water the recipe calls for. Got to say, this is why I do actually like guided cooking, because it really means you can't make these mistakes. Also explains why it was making a bit of a rattly sound, because it only had the 250 grams of vinegar liquid in there. So it also does make sense as to why it was making that sound. I am a bit short there. I'm not worried. 75 grams is like 3 tablespoons. It'll be fine. And now it can keep cooking for another 6 minutes. So I'll come back in 6.5 minutes when it's now boosted itself back up to boiling. and show you the next step. I have jarred up these, so I'm excited to show you how to seal this up and finish it soon. See you in 6 minutes. Okay guys, finishing up. It's just about done, 3 seconds, and we are good to finish up. We'll wait for those arms to release. They take a couple of seconds from it being stationary. Release that lid away from you so that the steam doesn't come and get you. And then we've got a beautiful, amazing smelling mixture in here. We're going to now take that, and we don't want to dawdle too much. So we do want to move on to this step quite quickly because we need to seal it up while it is boiling hot so that it actually creates that seal. That means it'll last pretty much indefinitely in your pantry if we can get a good seal on it. And then once you open it up, it's actually got 6-month lifespan in your fridge. How cool is that? It's going to last 6 months in your fridge, which is just awesome. So lid on. And then the tester is, can I turn it upside down? So there's a couple of things to know if you can seal it. Firstly, if it leaks. If you turn it upside down and it leaks on your bench, it's an indication that you haven't got a good seal. The other indication of a seal or not a seal is the little pop, the little gas release in there. So when you pop the lids on your jars, you know that when you pop your tomato paste and things like that, you can hear the little pop in it. That tells you that it's sucked the air out of it, it's sucked it in, it's vacuumed it in. When you open it, you hear it go pop. So that's the other indicator, is once this is cool, I should be able to press the top and it won't move. It'll be depressed in. So that's your other indicator of that. But otherwise, look at that. How cool is that? Carrots that can now sit on the shelf forever. And then once open, go in a fridge for 6 months. That's pretty cool. And my mind boggles at what else you could do this way as well. As I said though, 1 month now before you do eat it, you need to let the beautiful aromas and taste infuse with those carrots. But otherwise, there's so many things you can do. You can do onions, your own pickling onions, so many things you could do with this. So I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you're going to go away and give these a go. You know, I really do love showing you how to do different things in your Thermomix, because that's what it's all about, right? There is so much this machine can do, not only to save us time and money, but to then put things away for a rainy day when you haven't done the groceries or whatever the case might be. So this is from this book here. Eventually it will be on cookiedoo.com.au, but at the moment, manual cooking it is. But check it out. It is well worth, and get this book. Go to the mix shop, check it out. Remember to add my name down as a consultant if you are checking it out there as well. And if I can help you get a TM6 on your bench, please don't hesitate to reach out. I love helping customers Australia-wide get one of these on the bench, and then most importantly, continue to get more and more out of it, because there is so much this can do in your kitchen to make life easier for you. So that's it from me today. Give these a go. When you do, let me know what you think. I'd love to know. And take care, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video soon. My name is Lisa Keegan. Thanks for joining in. Do like and share these videos as well so that others can see them and get more out of their Thermomix as well. Take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.